Good morning. Taking a live look outside with Live Cam. Check it out. It is Tuesday and folks are already out on the road. We have Justin's forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
All right, we have made it to 6 o'clock. Thank you very much for hanging out with us on Good Morning San Antonio. It is Tuesday, July 2nd.
Thank you for starting your morning with us. We're already on our second cup of coffee.
Yes.
If we could get the machine to work. But
the Keurig machine.
What do we
taking some time to warm up a little bit, right? Yeah, got to get it
Justin?
going.
He's just looking at us like,
you have
you
to
guys.
file a ticket with the engineers and figure this out. Hey, you boldly announced earlier that it was Taco Tuesday, yet you didn't go get tacos.
No,
you had like
maybe
2
I'm
minutes
gonna have to
during
do
that commercial break.
Yeah, during a break here, or maybe have them DoorDash over here. I don't know.
For real?
What's your taco of choice? Okay, you got to tell me your favorite taco.
Potato egg.
I'm with you on that.
Oh, that's good.
I
Good
dig
choice.
that. Yeah.
A little cheese in there, salsa.
Okay,
Salsa's
now
my
you're getting
favorite
crazy.
vegetable.
Now you're getting crazy.
Anyway, I digress. 103, that's what it will feel like today around 5 o'clock, Port SA, 104 at the airport, 100 in Helotes. We know this song and dance. It's going to be hot this week, July 4th, hot. No real big issues as far as the forecast goes through about Friday. Then as we get into the weekend, things may try to change a little bit. Here's our forecast today. Noontime, be up around 91. And then by the afternoon, 100. There's that feels like number anywhere from 100 to 105. Mostly sunny for us here in San Antonio. So here's a weather story. And we've got to talk about Beryl, of course, a Category 5 hurricane. We'll give you some updates on that in just a little bit. But what are the certain scenarios? What are the scenarios that we may deal with when it comes to Beryl's possible path, and how does it affect us here? We'll dig into that a little bit more. We've been talking about it most of the morning, but we continue to get some new model runs in. And the float forecast, if you're headed to the rivers, how's that looking? And finally, water levels. We will also look at the reservoir levels, where they sit. And hint, it's not great. Hopefully we can get some rain in here by the weekend. We know the roads are dry right now. How's traffic looking at this hour?
All right, yes, obviously a lot of people looking forward to the July 4th holiday, but have to get through a couple of days here. So we take a look, 35 Alamo downtown, south of downtown there, 10 at Probent. Traffic moving pretty good both directions. A couple of things, I-10 east at Fulton had a stalled vehicle there, and Loop 410 at Sinclair, stalled vehicle there as well. Let's check in with photojournalist Alex Gomez to start our 6 o'clock hour. Alex was in the north side of town, northwest side, east side. Alex, where are you at right now, my man?
Yeah, RJ, good morning. I've hit all the spots this morning. I'm on the southeast side right now, 37 northbound, right at Hot Wells. You're still going to have that construction on the northeast side coming down 35 southbound inside 1604, but everywhere else is pretty smooth. We hadn't had any accidents this past hour. So happy Tuesday, RJ, or as you like to say, happy Taco Tuesday.
All right, thank you very much, Alex.
All right, new this morning, San Antonio police are searching for the suspects involved in a drive-by shooting on the city's east side. It happened around 3:30 this morning at Rigsby Avenue and Amanda Street. That's near I-10 and Pecan Valley Drive. Now, police tell us a man was shot in the back and taken to the hospital. At this point, it is unclear what led to that shooting. Several witnesses were also inside the victim's vehicle when he was shot. We're told investigators only have a description of the suspect. It's a dark-colored car that was involved. And of course, we're going to keep you updated as we learn more.
Looking ahead, the former site of First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs is set to be demolished. And while we don't know exactly what day it could happen, church members were told the sanctuary would be open today for final visits. In November 2017, you may remember this horrific incident. A gunman entered the building and killed 26 people during Sunday service. A memorial to those lost was eventually set up at the site. If you're wondering how survivors feel about the building, one told KSAT, quote, "I hope and pray it gets torn down ASAP," end quote. We reached out to church leadership for more information, but haven't heard back on the demolition.
Now to the courtroom, where deliberations will resume today in the case of 20-year-old Celadino Saldana. He was convicted last week for shooting at San Antonio police officers, and yesterday the jury was sent home without a verdict. During the punishment phase of this trial, Saldana fired shots at officers back in 2022. The officers returned fire and hit him. He's now paralyzed from the waist down. Now, jurors heard from his family as they consider his fate.
That he regrets it. He wishes that had never happened. He is very sorry that the officer believes and you believe that he was shooting at him when he was not shooting at him.
Saldaña faces 5 to 99 years or life in prison.
A man was arrested in Schertz over a year after a suspicious death of a woman at an apartment complex there. 61-year-old Erin DeClouet was taken into custody on Friday after 42-year-old Lisa Sipes was found dead in her apartment in May of last year. He's facing charges of tampering or fabricating evidence and is now in the Guadalupe County Jail.
It has been 2 months since the data hack at Central Med, and patients are still calling KSAT for help. The clinic says someone got into its patient records in late April, putting the personal information of 400,000 current and former patients at risk. Since then, patient concerns are shifting from their personal information being compromised to having trouble getting health care services. Now, we have heard from several Central Med patients, and their complaints have included difficulty scheduling appointments, getting referrals, not having access to medical records, and trouble filling necessary prescriptions.
My wife tried to call to get a couple scripts refilled. She couldn't.
Give me a referral for my prescriptions because my blood pressure is high and it's been high since February. And I don't want to have an episode where I'm back in the hospital or I'm with my kids and something happens to me, all because y'all can't get y'all together.
And we are still trying to get answers from Central Med. We have called and emailed several times since our May 24th report. We want to know where things stand currently and what is being done to help these patients. The story so far is posted on KSAT.com.
Well, this morning we're learning new details about the fire that devastated the old Buc-ee's rest stop right here in Luling. Yeah, this was an incredible video yesterday. And of course, this is video now of what's left of the original Buc-ee's out there in Luling. It went up in flames late yesterday morning. Over a dozen fire departments responded, and the Luling Volunteer Fire Department says it took about 2 hours just to put out.
The overall building was like I said, in the process of being demoed, so we weren't not going to risk anything because it was going to be tore down anyways, but we contained it pretty much to the area they were working, and they'll still continue to demo the rest.
And we're told by construction crews that they were actually moving old beams in the building and that one of the beams hit something and sparked that fire. The original store was built back in 2003, and last month Buc-ee's opened a brand new store, which is now the largest in the United States, right next to that old Buc-ee's, that property.
And in case you missed last night's KSAT explains, why is squatting such a challenging issue to deal with? Well, you might have seen recent social media videos online about this controversial topic. In a new KSAT explains, we look at what laws exist in Texas when it comes to squatting and why it's such a challenge for law enforcement to deal with it.
He had called me frantically complaining about how his electric bill quadrupled.
And the full story that aired last night can be found right now on KSAT.com and KSAT Plus.
All right, before we go to break, Restaurant Week is coming up fast, and I'm a big proponent of this. I've taken part in this. Participating restaurants will offer great deals hosted by Culinaria from August 10th to August 24th.
For 2 weeks, contributing restaurants will serve 3-course menus from brunch, lunch, and dinner throughout the Alamo City. Right now on KSAT.com, we have a list of the restaurants that will serve $25 3-course menus for brunch. That's a good deal.
Yeah, you definitely cannot beat that. A lot of these restaurants give you great deals. It's a prefix menu, so pretty easy to take part in Restaurant Week.
All right, I have to ask you for some recommendations there.
Will do, definitely.
Time right now, 6:10, 78 degrees.
All right, just ahead, how fast and how hot does it get inside a parked car during this time of the year? We're going to tell you what we found out and what to do if you run into a similar situation.
Taking a live look outside with our live cam right now. Looks like the sun is wanting to peek out already, 6:10 out there. We're going to check in with our traffic man out there just when we come back. All right, welcome back. I made a mistake yesterday. I went out and took my kids on a bike ride like at 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
It was
that's a
like-
mistake.
Yeah, it is hot out there.
It was so hot out there. And I mean, we have a lot of trees, so we took the shady part. I took water, and it took them a long time to cool off, even after we came inside for.
Yeah, it was smart to bring the water with you. And these temperatures, they're going to be around 100 each and every day. And we know that that can lead to some really hot conditions, not only if you're going to be out and about, but also inside your car.
Yeah.
Well, if you think it's hot outside, just imagine how hot it can get inside your vehicle. Right here, the car is already at 161 degrees, and it's 11 in the morning, and this car has only been sitting here for a couple of hours. And just remember, a child's body temperature can heat up 5 times faster than an adult. So let's go ahead and check the temperature on these car seats, and you can see back here, it's already going up to almost 120 degrees. And just remember, even a few minutes inside a hot car can be dangerous, even fatal for a child.
Can't stress that enough.
Yeah, you got to be so careful. And yes, temperatures like this can easily make that car heat up to those temperatures that Steph was just talking about. 100 here in San Antonio today, 101 Waco, 98 Houston, 104 Abilene. I think there could even be a few records set across the state of Texas today. Not here. I mean, we're used to 100, but as you get up into the Panhandle, some records possible there. Drought monitor, we show this from time to time, but I think what's most striking about this is that most of East Texas doing just fine. It's us here in Central Texas and West Texas where we've kind of been hit the hardest, I think, with regards to the state. And there is exceptional drought. Extreme drought, I should say, for parts of the hill country, burning down at Medina Lake and then out towards Del Rio. Here in San Antonio, more of a moderate drought, but this has been going on for years now, and we need something to break this drought. And yes, there are some rain chances in the forecast, but a lot of uncertainties too as we head towards the weekend. Hey, if you're headed to the rivers this Independence Day, know that the river flows are slow. Guadalupe and Comal, you're not going to be moving very fast. It's still moving. It's just these are well below average when you're talking about flow. And Frio, no flow there, but there is water in the river, at least in parts. So that's the situation. Not great, obviously. 78 degrees right now in San Antonio, 76 in New Braunfels, 73 Bernie, 74 in Kerrville. Forecast for today puts us again up around 100. The heat index will be anywhere from 100 to 105. Basically what we saw yesterday. And as we look at the tropics, of course, Beryl is top of mind here. A big, powerful hurricane, Category 5 hurricane, earliest Category 5 hurricane on record in the Atlantic. And this thing, I mean, it was so picturesque yesterday in the sense of how it looked on satellite. You know that this was doing some damage, unfortunately, over the islands of the Caribbean. Now this is working towards the Dominican Republic and Haiti, but it will also affect Jamaica, probably as a major hurricane. Maybe not a direct hit, but there will be some damage here likely. This is going to be Wednesday, and then headed towards the Yucatan, Cancun, Cozumel as a Category 1 storm. It weakens a little bit because there's wind shear. Then it interacts with land over the Yucatan, and this weakens it further. What state will it be in once it gets into the Gulf of Mexico? I think that is a big question that we've got to kind of wait and see. And that will have a bearing on what happens for us. This is the forecast for, let's say, Saturday evening. First off, let me point out that we're going to have a weak frontal boundary here in place, so that's going to spark off some showers over the weekend. But when it comes to the tropics, questions we've got to answer: what is going to be its exact location when talking about Beryl, its strength and state, as we said, and then also this ridge-high pressure. Where exactly does it set up? Because this will be the steering flow. And there are some possibilities where this comes up into Texas and brings us some moisture. It's just too early to say just yet what exact impacts it will have for us, if any. 99 Wednesday, 99 Thursday, 99 Friday. We get to add in some of those rain chances over the weekend thanks to that weak front. And then we'll be watching the tropics very closely, the Gulf of Mexico, Sunday into Monday.
The reality, it feels like over 100.
Yes, the heat index is going to be over 100 for the foreseeable future. If we can get some clouds and rain, though, that would go a long way to not only helping us with the drought, but helping us with temperatures, too.
Yeah, maybe we could get some much needed rain, especially out there. I'm a fan of the Comal River, as we all know, Texas State alum. So, yeah, definitely want to see those rivers flowing out there, especially as we get closer to the holiday. All right, guys, quick check of traffic now as we take a look. TransGuide traffic cameras. Things looking okay out there. 35 at Alamo, traffic moving pretty good both directions right there if you're in the downtown area. Same situation south of downtown at Proban. We have a disabled vehicle being reported at I-10 West at Wurzbach Road, and then a little also on I-10 around the Woodlawn Lake area, speaking of 4th of July, I-10 East at Fulton Avenue. So a couple different things if you're on I-10 right now. Let's go ahead and check in. Photojournalist Alex Gomez, he's been on the roads for us this morning. Alex, all right, looks like you're getting a nice little sunrise there. How are things looking on the roads this morning?
Yeah, I'm driving into the sunrise. It's a great view over here, RJ. This is going to be the northeast side, 35 northbound right at O'Connor Road. Now, the good news is that the construction on 35 south looks to be done. Check to my left. Those southbound lanes are open. The bad news is I am hearing of a reported crash outside 1604. So 35 southbound right at Olympia Parkway. There looks to be a crash right there. I'm going to be headed that way to see if it's almost cleared, RJ.
All right, so good information there from Alex as he makes his way throughout the city of San Antonio on your 6 o'clock commute.
6:20 right now, 77 degrees out there.
Coming up after the break, we're headed to the Wonder Theater for fun with Willy Wonka. I gotta love this, what audiences can expect to see this month in your Backstage Pass.
COPD isn't pretty. I'm out of breath and often out of the picture. But this is my story. And with Once Daily Trelegy, it can still be beautiful. Because with 3 medicines and 1 inhaler, Trelegy keeps my airways open for a full 24 hours and prevents future flare-ups. Trelegy also improves lung function, so I can breathe more freely all day and night.
Trelegy won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Do not take Trelegy more than prescribed. Trelegy may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
What a wonderful world.
Ask your doctor about Once Daily Trelegy for COPD, because breathing should be beautiful all day and night.
In this morning's GMA First Look, Jamie Foxx sharing more details about his medical emergency that landed him in the hospital last year.
April 11th last year, bad headache. Asked my boy for an Advil. Was gone for 20 days. I don't remember anything.
The Academy Award-winning actor and comedian speaking to a group of fans in Phoenix, Arizona over the weekend.
So they told me, I'm in Atlanta, they told me, my sister and my daughter took me to the first doctor. Next doctor said, something going on up there. I won't say it on camera.
It seems like Jamie is kind of still trying to process exactly what happened to him.
So what's next for Jamie Foxx as he opens up about his health complication? We'll have much more coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Mike Ajachi, ABC News, New York.
Well, good to see Jamie Foxx back on his feet. I know a lot of people were very curious about his condition there.
Yeah, we still are.
Yes, definitely. All right. Well, new this morning, a new play is putting the wonder in the Wonder Theater over on the city's northwest side.
KSAT 12 producer Andrew Wilson shows us a land of pure imagination with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
This is a story about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And Charlie is a little boy that is trying to celebrate all things chocolate and candy and look for an opportunity to win a grand tour of the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory.
This version utilizes a lot of the songs from the original Gene Wilder film, but then also puts its own spin, especially with the Oompa Loompa songs. There are new songs that are written for all of the children. This show was presented on the West End first over in London, and then was brought to Broadway, has been on tour, and each version has been a little bit different. And so what audiences are going to see when they come and see our show is something that's a little different from the original films that they may have seen, but definitely still has the energy and the life and the primary plot of the original films.
Because there's a lot of fun musical numbers that have a lot of zany things that occur during the course of them. And I've really enjoyed watching the production team and the creative team really bring this stuff to life.
All right, time right now, 6:26, 77 degrees out there.
All right, we're going to take a live look at the roads right now with Drive Cam, and it looks like photojournalist Alex Gomez is now stuck in a little bit of traffic, so we'll go ahead and check in with him as he was making his way out to the northeast side. You see Rotama Park right off to the right-hand side. We'll check in with Alex here in just a bit. All right, taking a look at live cam as the sun starts to peak itself out just a little bit on your Tuesday morning. And yeah, no doubt, it is certainly hot out there. So we're going to check in with Justin here in just a bit.
It's like somebody put a lid over San Antonio. Good morning. It is 6:30 on Tuesday, July 2nd.
And we always appreciate you starting your morning with us on Good Morning San Antonio on a terrific Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. All the Tuesdays that you want. Yeah.
Still no tacos from him, though.
No,
right?
not yet.
If you're going to keep mentioning it, you got to do something about it.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah.
I want to show you a picture, guys, out of Bernie. Everyone together. The stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart.
Everyone just switched the channel. Man, that guy can't sing. He's awful.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Coordination.
I don't know if you can actually see it on our KSAT Connect, but this is the stars last night out in Bernie. Yes, the stars are big and bright in Texas. Thank you, Peggy, for sending that picture in. And you can probably see it a little bit better if you go to our website, ksat.com. You can see the KSAT Connect pictures. Pretty cool. If you're heading to the beach next couple days, for Independence Day, know that it'll be in the 90s. Bays are slightly choppy. Gulf seas 2 to 3 feet. Winds will be southeast 10 to 15. No threat of rain, so this is a pretty good forecast in that regard. And the water temperatures anywhere from 88 to 90 degrees, so just really, really warm. That's one reason we're worried about what will happen with Beryl once she gets into the Gulf of Mexico. Much more on that later. 83 at 9 o'clock, noontime. 91, we're up around 100 today. That's our high temperature, and it feels like number will be somewhere around 103 to 105. So it's another one of those hot days, and that heat stays with us all the way through the end of the work week with a few changes by this weekend, thankfully. We'll talk about that weekend forecast, but let's talk traffic. Now we'll toss it over to RJ for the latest there.
All right, Justin, quick check of our TransGuide traffic cameras. And you know what? It's been a little bit quiet out there, but that is no longer the case as we go ahead and check in with photojournalist Alex Gomez. He is apparently at the scene of a reported crash from earlier. And last time we checked in with Alex, this was out on the northeast side of town. So what can you tell us, Alex?
Good morning, RJ. Yeah, you're right. Unfortunately, it's been quiet for most of the morning, but now we do have this northeast side crash on 35 southbound right at Olympia Parkway. We do have Selma and Schertz first responders now making the scene, and you can see this car right here. It looks to have lost control, and it's got a lot of damage right there on the front end. So 35 southbound, it's going to have the right lanes blocked. Only one lane open on that left side. So unfortunately, no construction delays, but now we do have this crash scene that you have to get through. So 35 South is backed up from Olympia Parkway back to Schertz Parkway now, RJ.
Well, Alex, it looks like that car is spun around. Is that what you're seeing? It's kind of facing the opposite direction?
Yeah, facing the opposite direction, and it looks like we do have that second vehicle. If I pan to the right here, it's going to be with that white van right there. So a two-car collision this morning, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much. We know Alex will give us the very latest when we check in with him here in just a little bit. Thank you very much for Alex checking that out for us. Well, moving on to some other news. A San Antonio woman who helped rescue 3 children left alone in a hot car. This video right here says that she would do it all over again.
That woman who wanted to hide her identity captured a video seen all over social media. It shows 3 young children crying while being rescued from a car parked at a shopping center near Highway 281 in Thousand Oaks. The woman who shot the video says she called 911, then helped get the children out of the hot car. The kids were taken to the hospital and are expected to be okay. Their mother, however, 33-year-old Angela Garza Amador, was arrested and is facing felony charges.
Yeah, definitely. Always want to be careful when it comes to that situation. While streaming right now on KSAT.com, San Antonio Police and Metro Health are showing people what can happen when a child is stuck in a hot car.
They compared the temperature outside and inside a closed car. Courtney Friedman shows us how hot it got, and they tell us what police say you should do in that situation.
Here we set it up to where we have a doll in there. Someone needs to come in and be this person's savior.
SAPD turned this car off for about 15 minutes.
It's registering already at 110 degrees. So over the weekend, those children were in the car for over 50 minutes. And that temperature is just going to keep getting hotter and hotter.
It got up to 113 inside that car by the time we left.
It's okay. It's okay. You need some water?
Likely similar to this weekend situation, but Metro Health says cars can get up to 150 degrees inside.
And eventually what will probably happen is heat stroke. And with that, it's just your body temperature just gets so high that your internal organs stop to function. Right, so your heart rate's going to go up, your kidneys could fail, you could be unconscious, and then eventually it could lead to death.
Call 911 right away, but see if the doors are unlocked, see if you can open the door. If you have to take further action, go ahead and do so. Like I said, we have laws in place that are going to protect you.
So if you do get a child, a pet, or a disabled adult out of a hot car, make sure you cool them off as soon as possible, whether that's with shade, water, or AC. And parents, we know life gets crazy, so what they suggest is putting something important, like a purse, in the back seat to remind you to get your child out. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, good advice there from Courtney. Well, the countdown is on to 4th of July, as we've been talking about, a couple days away. And the average person who will buy fireworks will spend about $100, but that's actually on the low end, right, Patty?
Yeah, you might know someone who spends thousands. I went to a warehouse at Southland Road near I-37 to see what is booming and how much they're spending.
It's 4th of July week. That means it's time to set off some booms. We are here with Shailene Salazar at Mr. W Fireworks on the southeast side of the county. Talk to me about what's hot this year.
Have been everything from the smaller pop rocks that are more adult friendly too. So if you don't want to actually set anything off, you want to stay more in the ground, that's something fun you can throw around. We also have these great family bundles. That way you have some fountains, you have some Saturn missiles, as well as firecrackers and some small artillery shells as well.
What's the price range we're looking at here?
So these are around $4. The big bundle pack is $180, but it does come with a lot of different items, so it groups it down and really saves yourself some money on those. This is one you can do. It'll have multiple breaks, so you can have a lot of different explosions and spread them out throughout the night rather than setting off one and it going out in like 2 minutes to 3 minutes. We also have things for the kiddos, more of the ground show. So if you don't want it to explode and go into the air, these stay more towards the ground. We'll do the beautiful colors, showers, crackling, a lot of gold and sparkling on this one.
Okay, and that's about $34. That's my price range right there.
So this one lasts 2 minutes. You'll set it off, face it towards where your family members are, and then you just actually get to watch it do everything by itself, so you don't have to reload on this one, but it is a one light and you get the 2 minute long. And those are for $99. So.
It does a good job. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you seeing that prices are staying the same, that their prices have gone up?
Ever since COVID, we did see a price jump. But since then, I'm happy to say everything has stayed. Besides a couple products I've seen went up $1, but I've actually seen some of my prices drop this year.
What's the most that you've seen people come in and buy here?
An average is about 100. I've seen the most was last year. They bought a whole bunch of, it was a group that came in, so it was a lot of people's money thrown together. That was a $1,500 charge.
Let's talk about this scan app, because a lot of times you're buying these things and you don't know what the show's going to look like, right? But this is great.
So I like to put these up and around. I have some circles right now of the products I have in stock. I have some more coming in. You're actually able to pull up your smartphone and the camera, and when you bring it up, it'll bring you to the exact video of what you're buying.
And of course, we always want to remind people to know what their city ordinances are when it comes to setting off fireworks.
Yes, and we also like to put some free samples of the fire safety packets in all the bags. That way y'all know how to dispose of them, make sure they're not going to get relit, and just the proper care all around and usage of them.
Be careful with your fingers out there. 4th of July is Thursday, so if you haven't started making plans on where to celebrate, we have a few days left.
Yeah, a lot of different things going on right now on KSAT.com. We have a full list of places where you can see fireworks on this Independence Day in San Antonio and, of course, in the surrounding areas.
Many places have parades, races, food events, and live music planned. Woodlawn Lake is always a crowd favorite, so if you're heading out there to watch the fireworks, those start at 9 p.m. Thursday. To see the full list of events, just look for this story on our website.
Yeah, you definitely want to be safe out there and make sure to follow all those ordinances as you mentioned there, or just play it safe and go to Woodlawn.
Just go to Woodlawn at 9. Maybe somebody could record it, take pictures for me because I'll be asleep.
Oh yeah, same here. Yeah, no, I'll be here Friday. So yeah.
Time right now, 6:40, 77 degrees.
Fast fashion and constantly buying new clothes is actually hurting the environment. KSAT Sarah Costa shows us how thrift shopping can help fight climate change. That's coming up next.
Welcome back. Fast fashion and constantly buying new items is hurting the environment.
Yeah, you know, I never really thought about this, but every time new fabrics are made, that means that more items go into our landfills and more chemicals are released into our atmosphere.
However, as Sarah Costa shows us, shopping secondhand at places like Goodwill can help Mother Nature.
Did you know it takes 2,100 gallons of water to make just one pair of jeans and 700 gallons of water to make one cotton t-shirt?
According to research by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, textile manufacturing produces more emissions than all international flights and shipping combined, and is responsible for more than 20% of wastewater produced globally.
Hyperconsumerism and fast fashion, you think about the implications that it has on our environment, right? Not only those items are not made very well, and they go into landfills quicker, but they're made with a lot of water, a lot of maybe toxic chemicals that end up in our resources.
More items in the landfills means more greenhouse gases released, which contributes to global warming and climate change. It's why thrifting and shopping gently used doesn't just save you money, it's saving our planet.
A lot of people are shopping a little bit differently nowadays. So they're shopping eco-conscious and budget-conscious, and you can do both here at Goodwill.
Goodwill recovered 4.3 billion products across the globe in 2023.
In San Antonio's 24 Goodwill stores, 1 million items were donated.
In 2023, Goodwill repurposed 22.7 million items globally.
And locally, 1.3 million pounds of hazardous electronic equipment was responsibly recycled.
We are a nonprofit. I think a lot of people might forget that. So when you shop here, your purchases go towards supporting our community by providing good jobs, career training, and employment placement services.
So you can do your part by donating gently used items to your nearest Goodwill donation station and by shopping at your local Goodwill store. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
I love it. Another reason to go shopping.
Yes, and why do I get the feeling that she probably came away with those big like floppy hats to do her gardening? I just feel like
I love it. I love it.
In the newsroom.
Well, a lot of people are not out really on the roads today. So.
Yeah, it's been a quiet start to our Tuesday morning, but we are now starting to see a little bit more activity out there as we take a look at some of our TransGuide traffic cameras. 35 at Alamo, as you see that traffic a little bit south of downtown right there. Let's go ahead and check in with photojournalist Alex Gomez, because if y'all remember, he was at the scene of a crash a little while ago. Alex, what's the latest out there?
Well, it's not getting any better anytime soon right now, RJ. This is going to be 35 southbound right at Olympia Parkway. We do still have these two vehicles that were involved in this collision still here out in the roadways. So 35 southbound is going to be backed up from Olympia Parkway back to almost 3009 now. So we're still waiting for those tow trucks, RJ. Right now, 3 lanes are blocked. Only that left lane is open at the moment, RJ.
Yeah, that is not fun. And you know what? I was like, hey, our drivers out there finally got a break because there wasn't that much construction this morning. And now we have this taking place as we get ready for our 7 o'clock hour. Thank you very much, Alex, for checking that out for us.
Slow down out there. All right, Justin.
Yes, so we're focusing on Hurricane Beryl, a Category 5 hurricane, guys. This is one of the stronger hurricanes I've seen in the Atlantic. And what I've got plotted here is the hurricane hunters are flying into this as we speak. Some of the data that's coming out is just flat out incredible. We're talking winds potentially 170 plus sustained with this hurricane. You can see it has a pretty good symmetry, so we know it's healthy by the satellite picture. Now, the good news is I think it does start to weaken a little bit today. It encounters some wind shear as it moves west. But right now, this is an absolute beast out over the Caribbean. It is affecting places like Puerto Rico. It's throwing some, certainly some high surf, but some rain and wind up in that direction. And as we look at the track here, the potential track, folks in Jamaica, the Cayman Islands are going to want to watch out for this. Still a major hurricane once it crosses over Jamaica, I think. This is going to be on Wednesday. Then as it works towards Cancun and Cozumel, that's going to be on Friday, probably a Cat 2 or Cat 1. So that's still going to be a problem. And then as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, notice that the Hurricane Center starts to take the track a little bit further north. And the reason for that is we're going to have high pressure anchored over to our east, and that could help to steer this thing a little bit further north. Now, at this point, I think it's a far weakened storm. It's going to start to look ragged. Remember, it will have interacted with the land here over the Yucatan. But if we could just get some moisture to feed up into South Texas, I think that would be ideal. Actually, a weaker storm would be good for us. We just have to see if that's how it plays out. Again, right now, winds are at 165 miles per hour. Just an incredible storm, and we'll certainly keep an eye on it. Here are the spaghetti plots, and yes, a lot of these now start to curve this up a little bit up into Texas. But here's what I'll tell you. These are going to change day to day. They're going to change model run to model run. That's just what happens. So we're not going to stick too closely on exactly what we're seeing here. We've still got to watch it another couple days, and we certainly will. 78 degrees in San Antonio, 76 in New Braunfels, low 70s out in the hill country. Today, 94 at 1 o'clock. 100 is our high temperature that feels like number 103, 105. It's going to be hot. And if you're heading out to the lakes or reservoirs for Independence Day, know that they are very, very low. Canyon, obviously record lows, 56%. Medina, hardly there. Choke Canyon, 21.7%. So not great. We could use the rain. And again, if we're going to get any, it's probably going to be this weekend. We get a weak frontal boundary coming in. That may help to kick off a shower or storm. And then we'll be watching what goes on in the Gulf of Mexico Sunday into Monday with Beryl. If that could bring us some rain too, that would be a bonus. We're going to keep watching those computer models, and we'll update you as often as we can.
Yeah, hopefully the 20 grows to 30, 40, maybe 50, and we get something.
Fingers crossed.
All right, thanks, Justin.
Justin, asking real quick for a friend, how do you get into that hurricane hunting business where you fly around?
Well, like yeah, a lot of it's military or with NOAA, but you've got to have you got to be brave.
Some skills.
You got to be brave. Yes, you got to have some skills.
That's a bumpy ride, I bet.
Oh, it is. It can be. Yeah.
Time right now, 6:50, 77 degrees.
All right, and let's take you back outside with live cam as we're starting to see the sun come up on the city of San Antonio on a beautiful Tuesday morning. It is hot outside, though. We'll give you one more quick check of traffic and weather coming up here in just a bit.
Welcome back. July is here, and that means 25 days until Peso Pluma comes to San Antonio and only 13 more days to enter our KSAT Insider contest to score tickets to the concert. If you scan the QR code on your screen, you can enter for a chance to win 4 tickets to the show, but you must be a KSAT Insider.
Yeah, I have a buddy who's actually told me he's going to go to this show, so he did not win this sweepstakes. But if you are not a KSAT Insider, it is very easy to register and free to do so. You have until July 15th to enter the contest. You can read the official rules on KSAT.com.
Tomorrow on GMSA at 9, we're getting you ready for Amazon Prime Day coming up in a few weeks. We're going to be talking with a shopping expert from Consumer Reports about the best deals to look out for on Prime Day, which is July 16th through the 17th.
And cannot wait for this. We have a new summer edition of Science with Sarah. Meteorologist Sarah Spivey will be out and about the San Antonio Zoo doing a fun experiment that you can do at home with the kiddos. And she'll also have some special friends, maybe Timothy Uma? I don't know, we'll see. She's going to introduce us to them. So tune in for those stories and more. That's going to be tomorrow on GMSA at 9 o'clock.
She's probably looking for an assistant. Are you volunteering?
Oh. Those are big shoes to fill, man.
Yeah, David is.
But they have a lot of fun.
They do.
They do. All right, let's go ahead and check back in with photojournalist Alex Gomez. He was at the scene of a crash on the northeast side. Alex, how are things looking out there?
Well, you know what, RJ, they're actually getting better over here. We do have a tow truck now on scene for one of the vehicles. We still need one more tow truck. So I can show you that 35 southbound is still going to be having 3 lanes blocked, only 1 lane open on that left side. That's why we have a pretty good backup on the far northeast side, 35 south at Olympia Parkway. Now the backup is reaching back to 3009 this morning, RJ.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. Good to see Alex, and of course his reporting out there. Very important for us. Justin.
And 100 today, mostly sunny, basically around 100 next few days. Fireworks forecast looks great for 4th of July. 97 on Saturday, 94 Sunday. So notice we lower temperatures a little bit. Small chance of rain over the weekend with a weak frontal boundary, and then we turn our attention to the tropics. Again, so many questions that are still out there when it comes to Beryl and what it means for our forecast. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer, but we'll have a better idea in the coming days.
All right, thanks, Justin.
Yep. You might get tacos, man. Maybe.
Make it happen.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah.
We'll see you at 9.